Hey everyone, Hydra is the best sorcerer build in the game, and this is my final version endgame of the build, Hydrakuna. The requirements can be found here on my planner that I'm gonna link in description. You will need Hurricane Crest, Shroud of Fool's Dead, and Ring of Starless Sky to be able to play this build. If you don't have if you don't meet the requirement, you have my T1 to T4 build that doesn't need any mythic, and if you are looking for a leveling build, there is a level 1 to 60 build. I can show you quickly on the planner. I can link everything in the description. Everything is detailed. You have video that's gonna explain you how to transition when you reach level 60 to the build T1 to T4, and how do you transition from T1 to T4 to this build. I believe this is the most the best all-around Hydra build sorcerer of the season, because I give some explanation here. I believe that the best build in general is not the build with the most damage. You need to find kind of like a sweet spot between damage and mobility and utility, and I believe this combine all of this. That's why I think it's the best all-around build. I give you explanation here, like we are dropping Isle of Verglass with Hurricane Crest because it gives you more toughness, cooldown reduction. I also use a wand and the focus instead of a staff because the extra damage that you get from the staff, it's really not worth the mobility that you lose. And in any case, for like general content in Diablo 4 with this build, you're gonna one-shot everything. You can speed farm the pit 79, even 89 with this build. I take roughly a minute. It can be more, it can be less with this build on pit 79. And if you want to farm your Paragon and your level, the best way to farm the level, if you don't know, it's to speed farm the pits as fast as you can, because the pit completion is gonna give you most XP. So you want to pick a tier that you can farm around 1 or 2 minutes and have the XP completion. So yeah, that's why I think this is the best build. If you want to have the most damaging setup of this build, it's gonna be the pit pushing variant that I will work on now, since the Hydrakuna build is pretty much done. I also have a speed farming pit build that's gonna allow you to trade some toughness, or it's gonna be less general. It's more gonna be for speed farm pits, for example 90, 95 or pit 100 that you can do in roughly like 5 minutes probably. But Hydrakuna gonna be better for general content. Speed farm pits gonna be for leveling your glyph. I can make a video to cover that later if you want. And the pit pushing one's gonna be the most damaging setup that I will work on, as I said. And you're probably gonna have a lot of toughness resistance, and it's gonna be hard to play. Every pit pushing build can be very hard to play. That's why I think most of the people are gonna play Hydrakuna, because it's the most well-rounded one. So let's start by the skill rotation, then I'm gonna show you gameplay showcase. But first of all, I want to explain to you the skill rotation, so you kind of understand what's gonna happen when I do the showcase. First of all, I got a lot of questions about, do you press ball lightning or not? And the reason is, I'm not like, you don't see me press when I play on stream. The answer is yes. You're gonna hold down ball lightning. You press once. When you hold down ball lightning, it's gonna cast forever. As long as you hold it down, it press forever. That's the first thing. Second thing, you wanna cast unstable current. Unstable current to get a lightning speed out. As you can see here, you have the counter. When you have unstable current up, you have lightning speed out. Lightning speed are gonna apply vulnerability. That's gonna give you more damage. Then you're gonna press ice blade, ice armor. You wanna press all this free spell of cooldown. You wanna hold down ball lightning, and you wanna cast unstable current to gain that's like extra conjuration out. Lightning speed that apply vulnerability and attack speed. Then the last thing is Hydra. You wanna press Hydra because most of the damage comes from Hydra. You're not gonna kill enemy if you just use your skill rotation like this. In general content in T4 they might die, but the build is Hydra, so you wanna press Hydra to kill them and one-shot them. And yeah, so that was the skill rotation. I will give you a quick showcase in pit 79. To illustrate roughly how do you play it. So Oh, it entered the pit. So potion, you can use resourcefulness or attack speed. Let's go for attack speed here. In center is gonna be intelligence, life, and soothing spice for defense toughness. I use attack speed because I already have a lot of damage. Resourcefulness gonna be for damage. Wait, this pit doesn't have Subo. Let's start a new one. I think it's bugged. It just entered me in the pits instantly. Let's start again so you can see with the mercenary. So with the mercenary, let's say pit 79. I'm gonna apply the exact skill rotation that I said earlier. So yeah, we have Subo now. As you can see with Subo on the minimap, you can see where the elites pack, or I mean not the elites but the monster. It's a lot better like this. You can see I'm casting a few Hydra, then I'm leaving because they should one-shot everything. It can be a little bit hard to cast Hydra, sometimes it doesn't register your Hydra, you might have to press a few times. Or you can just like stop your entire rotation to lay down your Hydra like this, then you start again. It's totally up to you. I don't have a preference, like I can keep going and spam a few Hydra, but you can just stop a bit, cast your Hydra, and then go again, up to you. It's like roughly the same for me. Sometimes Hydra doesn't lay down because we're pressing just so many buttons at the same time. This build is pretty spammy, I would say. If you don't like to zoom that fast, there is a T4, T1 to T4 build that doesn't need to press so many buttons. You can just go on the T1, T4 I have a video, and you just walk and lay down your Hydra. That you can also do with this version of the build, but if you play this build, it's because you want to go fast, I think. I play the sorcerer because I like the speed of the sorcerer, and I think playing sorcerer without teleport is it's kind of sad. So that's my vision of the Sorc. Speed farm Sorc, probably fastest class since forever, since Diablo released. So after the showcase now, I'm gonna answer the question that people ask me like every season, like they might need new players, so if you already know, you can skip this part. Like I'm gonna have a few sections that you can just jump in on the video. So the question that I get asked the most is how can you perma teleport? Like as you can see here, how can you always teleport? Teleport should have a cooldown, you should not be able to go that fast, so first of all, you need the boots, a pair of boots with the implicit, as you can see here. Attacks reduce evade cooldown by 1.5 seconds. When you evade, if you attack, anything on your skill bar should count. You evade, you press something, it counts as an attack. It reduces your evade, as you can see here. That's really what the boot says, the implicit. Then, second, this teleport enchants. It says evade is replaced with a short teleport on a 1.8 second cooldown. So your evades become a teleport. You teleport with your evade, and it's the same principle. If you press something, it's gonna reduce the cooldown. Now the hard thing about this build is you need a lot of cooldown, because let's say I remove Harlequin Crest. My cooldown here is 4.5 seconds. I'm gonna teleport. I'm gonna have to cast like 3 times to be able to teleport again. As you can see here, it's a bit slower. It's okay, you can still play the build if you don't reach like teleport every attack, which should be 1.7 seconds. When I'm gonna go through the gear, I'm gonna explain to you what to masterwork and how to achieve that. But if you can't, like let's say, this is true attack, okay? This should be reachable by most of the people. Like you won't need crazy gear to be able to do this, which I think it's totally okay. You don't need, I just show you what it's possibly doable for you, and if you like, you can try to do it if you want, and if you can't, like the build still work without that. Like perma teleport between each attack is not mandatory. So yeah, also little information about my mana. My mana is going up, back super fast for 2 reasons. Reason number one is Primordial Binding here. When you have a summon up, it's gonna give you mana regeneration. You should always have 10 summon up. I use Cosmic Anomaly because they count as Conjuration. Unstable Current that proc Lightning Spear and Ice Blade, as you see in the skill rotation, also gonna proc Summon, then you have 10. Then your mana regeneration go crazy. The thing is, you cast Hydra, it instantly goes down because of Aspect of Serpentine. That's why on the wand you wanna have Lucky Hit Chance Restore primary resource. You might struggle a little bit on single targets, but when you are speed farming and you have multiple targets, it should not be a problem. As you can see, you can just cast, it's instantly going back. And the thing is, you want to have you want to cast Hydra when you have your maximum mana up because of Aspect of Serpentine. 1.5 increased damage per mana you had when you cast. So it's the combination of both that makes you have always 100% mana and allow you to cast Hydra. Also during my showcase, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not spamming Hydra because when you spam Hydra, they don't attack instantly. There is a little, like, you have to wait like 1 second for them to attack. The Dave made a quality of life change that says if you cast a Hydra, it's gonna attack instantly, but if you're spamming Hydra, there's gonna be a little bit of delay. So ideally you wanna cast a Hydra, wait a bit, cast another Hydra, wait a bit, cast another one, and that's perfect for speed farming because you mostly need Hydra to kill the elites pack. So you reach an elite, you cast a Hydra, you go to the next elite pack, you cast another Hydra, and they should melt. That's it for those two little explanation. Now I'm gonna do a quick gear breakdown. I mean, that's not gonna quick, there's many things to say, but so first of all, disclaimer, I always got the same things every season. People are like, your gear is not reachable, is not attainable. Yeah, maybe it's not, maybe it is. Like, it depends on how much time you want to invest in the game. In any case, I try to showcase what's the best possible you can achieve, so that might give you a goal. And you don't need to do that if you don't want to invest time. The build is gonna work as I said, so just do your best and you will be rewarded with the time you invest, like everything I would say. So first, Harlequin Crest. Harlequin Crest is mandatory for this build. Like those 3 mythic unique, as I said, are like kind of mandatory to play this build. If you don't have it, play the T1 T4 build, then switch from T1 to T4 to T1 to T4 mythic. Then when you have everything, make the switch. Don't make the switch too early, otherwise you're gonna struggle with the mobility. So yeah, first piece, Harlequin Crest. You wanna have GA cooldown. If you don't have GA cooldown, you can play with it. It's not like a big problem, you're just not gonna go as fast. You wanna masterwork everything in cooldown. The rune combination gonna be Nagu and Om. That's gonna give you 100% uptime. It's free 15% damage. We don't need the wolf anymore, say, because on this build you have always 10 conjuration up. I mean summon, it used to be conjuration, now it's called summon, but yeah, now you don't need the wolf anymore, so we're gonna use Om. Second one, Shroud of False Death. You wanna have GA on all stat. I had one on maximum life, it doesn't really matter, like it's a very little difference. But either you wanna have GA all stat or max life, Masterwork, everything in all stat or maximum life. Like a mix of, a combination of both are fine. Then the rune's gonna be C and Vex. Vex gonna give you +3 ranks to everything. And when you add rank in teleport, it doesn't show in the tooltip on teleport enchant, but that's gonna reduce the cooldown, the number that you see, like it's 1.8. But if you add more ranks, it's not gonna be 1.8, like it might be 1.7, 1.6. It just doesn't show on the tooltip, so Vex can help you if you are missing like some cooldown. That's why I use Vex. On the glove I have intelligence, armor, core skill. Instead of armor you can have attack speed. I just have armor because I was thinking of a pit pushing build and I might lack armor, so I had armor on the glove here. But attack speed is also fine. You can probably have armor from Mercenary and incenses. And yeah, on the temper you wanna have Hydra damage. Hydra damage because it has higher value. It's the highest value and it's the most damaging one. Like all your damage are coming from Hydra, so it makes sense to temper Hydra damage. Lucky hit chance because there is nothing else, and lucky hit chance also have an impact, a little impact for your mana regeneration. Aspect gonna be Flashfire aspect, gonna give you a lot of damage. My version of Hydra is a direct damage. I don't think burn damage is that great. I don't see many content creators doing direct damage. I think most of them do burn, but I haven't looked, so I don't really know. I think direct damage is the best, unless maybe there is maybe a way that burn might be a little bit better on a very high push setup, because it might deal a little bit damage on the boss with the new Hydric gem, but yeah, that's not the topic of the video. Next, actual conduits. Actual conduits, you want to have 1 GA. If you can have damage reduction. Doesn't matter too much. You want to have 1 GA and Masterwork everything in resource generation and maximum. Nothing else matter on this pens. We use this only for resource generation and maximum 1, because that's gonna help you with your mana, and that's gonna synergize with aspect of Serpentine. 1.5 increased damage per mana you had, and 317, now 169, so you make quick math and you see how much damage that gonna give you, and having damage reduction obviously is always good. The gem's gonna be intelligence. On the boots, the most important thing to have is attack reduce cooldown by 1.5 seconds. This is the most important stat to have, otherwise you can't, like teleport enchant becomes useless. Intelligence maximum life if you can on GA. The third stat, if you need armor you get armor. If you don't have armor you can get mana per second. Then very important, evades cooldown reduction. That also doesn't show on the tooltip I believe of teleport. Here 1.8. Oh, it shows actually 2.6. I have 2 Masterwork on evade cooldown reduction. You might need more. You might do triple crit it. If you don't have like triple crit on cooldown, if you don't have GA cooldown, you might have to triple crit evade cooldown here. It really depends on your gear again. But the goal here is to have around 1.9 with Vex, when Vex is up, because right now it's not up. When Vex is up, it goes to 1.6. You wanna have 1.7 is the goal. Having 1.7 should be what you're looking for. And yeah, then lucky hit chance, same for the glove. Aspects, orange level, so you have 100% uptime on unstable current. There's no better aspect, I believe. Maybe wild bolts, but I like to have 100% on unstable current for the attack speed. Next, I use a one, not a two-hander. I have explanation on my page, but yeah, you want to have intelligent maximum life, then lucky chance to restore primary resource. You don't need the GA on this one because of the pens resource generation, like, it doesn't matter, you have 100% back anyway. Then temper Hydra damage, very important. Temper Hydra heads when you have more heads that synergize with your amulet. And yeah, then I use critical strike damage gem because you have 100% crit anyway with this build. Then aspect of Serpentine, very important. That's a lot of damage, like that's the most damaging aspect that you can get. Some people use two-hander with this aspect for the extra damage that I really said I think it's overkill and irrelevant for this build. And yeah, then amulets, you wanna have a true GA if you can. Intelligence, primordial binding. I was very lucky to get this from Belial, doing thousands of Belial. But if you have to choose priority number 1, primordial binding, second intelligent, then attack speed. Priority damage doesn't matter much, it's just additive damage. Then very important, legendary, between 50 and 100 you want to have at least, I would say 90. So priority, primordial binding, legendary aspect, then intelligence. If from 90 to 100%, I think it's like roughly 5% damage. difference. So if you have 90, it's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. It's 5.2 damage exactly, going from 90 to 100%. So 5% damage, you're not gonna feel it. You wanna masterwork everything on Primordial Binding, because Primordial Binding gonna help you a lot with your damage and your mana regeneration. Talrasha Ring, you wanna have GA on cooldown. Like, most important things to have is GA on cooldown. Then legendary aspects, you wanna be as close as possible to 25%. Second best one to have is non-physical damage, then lucky hit chance, then potent warding. If you have 1 G on cooldown and 25%, that's more than enough. Like, you don't really need that. Like, that's just, it's just for the look, but otherwise you need only 1 GA and 25%. Ring of Starless Sky, very important. That's give you a lot of attack speed. That's allow you to go super fast, but the only GA you really want to have is core skill, because Hydra now become a core skill thanks to your amulet here. I forgot to explain, but basically your amulet's gonna take all your head. Like, your Hydra gonna have only 3 heads now. All the extra heads, like all the extra head, it says like for each head above 3 that it would have had, the Hydra instead grow larger, like bigger, then it increases 100% damage. That's why, like, when you ask why your Hydra is so big, it's also because it depends on how many heads you have. There is also the Horadric gems that I will just say after Starless Sky, but yeah, Starless Sky, you wanna have core skill. I was very lucky to get this Starless Sky. There was a shot on YouTube about it. Literally dropped it like randomly, so yeah, that was very lucky. And yeah, Starless Sky, masterwork everything in core skill. If you have a mix between attack speed and core skill, is also fine. And also that helps you a lot with your mana, with holding down ball lightning, Starless Sky, so yeah, good item to have. Then last item, focus. You wanna have intelligence, maximum resource as a GA. The cooldown doesn't need to be a GA. Maximum resource for aspect of serpentine, intelligence, then temper Hydra damage, and again Hydra more heads. Aspect is Stormswell. You can use a Shredding Blade. You can use pretty much whatever you want. I don't use Battlecaster. I got this question asked a lot because I have 7 rank here. I have 4 rank here. So I have 21 Hydra. With Vex I have 24. So with diminishing return, it's less damage than a Stormswell or Shredding Blade. That's why I use that. For the gem, there is no name. I don't know how do you call the Horadric gem. I always forget the name. But so this one is when you kill an enemy or you injure them, your Hydra become bigger, larger, and they deal more damage. Otherwise they are not. They are a little bit like smaller, but you get that. This one is more damage, very important one. The second one is more damage, dealing more elemental damage. Fire is elemental damage. So, and the last one is just having more intelligence, more life. We don't need to be unhindered because we teleport everywhere anyway, but it's good to have. And yeah, so that was for the gear breakdown, stat prioritization, masterworking aspect, and gems. Now we're gonna look at the skill tree. Skill tree, we have 2 points here to unlock this. Here we have mana for aspect of serpentine. Here we have elemental dominance that's gonna help you with Hydra, because Hydra is now a core skill. We have teleport for our Sorc mobility, we have glass cannon for damage, we have ice armor for toughness and a little bit more damage. We have Hydra here, we take Invoked Hydra because we are a crit build. Ice Blade, that's gonna give you extra attack speed to go faster. We have 1 point in protection, when you cast a cooldown, gonna give you some barrier. Here we have some toughness. Here you have Lightning Spear. When you cast Lightning Spear, apply Vulnerable, and that's gonna cast 2. That can be helpful if you don't have very good endgame gear, but if you have very good gear and you don't need to cast Lightning Spear anymore, you can just use Flame Shield, but I believe most of the people will need to cast Lightning Spear, so I will leave Lightning Spear here. You got Familia gonna give you more damage here, Primal Binding, very important. Then you have Mana Shield here for more toughness. This is more damage node, classic damage node. You have Ball Lightning here. Ball Lightning, we use a Ball Lightning because Ball Lightning has the fastest speed frame of the game. It means that you can't cast faster than Ball Lightning. That's very important if you want to go fast. Also, Ball Lightning gonna generate Crackling Energy here. When you pick up Crackling Energy, it's also gonna give you mana, and picking up Crackling Energy also give you more damage. This is not mandatory. I put that here, but my mana is still fine even without. But it's just I don't think most of the people will have enough gear requirement. If you remove it, you can put that in offers, but I think it's overkill anyway. You would need to run Frost Nova Rune, and I don't think it's relevant in speed farm, so I think, as I said, we need to find a sweet spot between damage and having a build that works easily. So that's why I put the point here. Then you have more damage here, more damage again here. A very innovative sorcerer node spaces. Here you have Elemental Synergy for more damage. It means that if you put Flame Shield here, it's gonna give you again a little bit more damage. But as you've seen in Pit 79, you don't really need that extra damage. Here you have more cooldown reduction. Unstable Current, as I explained in the skill rotation, that's gonna give you Lightning Speed and attack speed with this node. This is gonna give you more damage. And Asus Ferocity, that's gonna give you damage and critical strike chance. So yeah, enchantments, teleport enchants, Familia enchant, that's gonna give you that extra damage. You cast 3 actually Conjuration Summon, that's gonna proc Familia to have even more, and Familia gonna give you more damage. That's it for the skill tree. Let's move to the Hydric power. Hydric power, I use the Smoldering Ember. That's gonna buff your fire damage. Bloody Charm to execute enemy. It's not really needed because they died anyway. This one gonna deactivate resistance aura. This one's gonna grant you unstoppable. Being unstoppable is very good because you can't get freeze or crowd control by monster and die by accident. I use Cosmic Anomaly for what I said earlier for Primordial Binding attacks. And yeah, Hydric. I put the Cosmic Anomaly on Hydra. It doesn't really matter where you put that. And yeah, I showed the gems here. Now, a Mercenary. I use Subo to have the enemy on my minimap easier for speed farm and know where to go. This is his talent, give extra damage, but yeah, as I said, it's not really needed. Then I use Alkin to have some toughness if needed. And Potion and Incenses, as I said earlier, it's gonna be either attack speed if you have too much damage, or resourcefulness if you want damage. Then Intelligence, Life, and Toughness for Potion and Incenses. Then Paragon Board. I had a previous video about how to build a Paragon Board. I believe if you're already here, you should build like Paragon 220, I believe. So first we have Tactician, that's gonna give you us extra damage. A very important one, Enchantment Master, that's gonna help you with your teleports. Teleport enchants, because I also use one-hander because it's easier. You have cooldown here. On the amulet we used to have evade cooldown reduction like on the boots. We can't have it on the amulet anymore. So yeah, Paragon Board, Elemental, Enchantment Master, very important. Then you unlock all these nodes. Elementalists give you more damage. This one also Fundamental Release, gonna give you more damage. I mostly take this Paragon Board because it has a very good defensive nodes and some life one, and I believe that we don't really need that extra damage, and you need to have a little bit of toughness. We struggle to have a maximum life, so this is very useful. Pyromania gonna buff your Hydra damage. Then Searing Hits give you that extra critical traction. That doesn't show on the tooltip, by the way, so don't get confused by that. I have a full write and guide anyway about this part. Few more damage here, destruction, your most damaging glyph. If you want a level 1, level this one first, I guess. Then the last one, elemental summoner, that's gonna give another 60% damage. And yeah, then it's just nodes that give you max life, attack speed, conjurer, that give you more damage. I have the Paragon, the Paragon board on my guide. I believe it's the exact same, but since I'm Paragon right now 253, I added some Paragon. You have, like, as you can see here, you don't have the full Paragon. You have to go to Paragon 240 to see the rest. Then for the rest, you probably want to put them in whatever you need. Like, it really depends on your setup and your gear. I might just do a Paragon 300 to end it, but I don't know yet. You have full explanation here on the planner that I will link in description. I will update the FAQ as I get more questions. I will try to update that. You have the gameplay loop here, you have potion, you have all the detail if you missed it in the video. And yeah, next video gonna be, let me know in the comment section what you want. I can cover speed farm pits that can do like pit 95 in, I do it in like 2 minutes. It might take you a little bit more if you don't have like good gear. But yeah, this variant is for leveling up your glyph. I can do a video about the best way to level up your glyph with this build and cover it quickly. I can also do a video about pit pushing. I can start working on the pit pushing version. I can also do a FAQ. You can leave like all your questions in the comment section that I can pick and answer in the next FAQ video. So yeah, just let me know in the comment section what you want. I guess that's gonna be it for me today. Don't forget to leave me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time.